My next panelist, इनको मैं दावत दूंगा, उनके अंदर एक थोड़ा और ingredient भी है जो हमें और आप सबको पसंद आएगा. He is, of course, has a lot of spark. He is executive director at Agha Steel, and he is young. So let's welcome Mr. Hussain Agha, who is the executive director at Agha Steel.
All right, so I have Assalamu alaikum. I have about 5 to 6 minutes. So now I have to make this into a profitable venture and finish earlier than the time. Let's start. Bismillah. So first of all, you all may know Pakistan is in challenging times. There is prosperity, there is challenge to growth, there always remains in every time. Today, if I'm not sure if you guys are aware of, there are currently 2 wars that are happening in Pakistan at the moment. One you may all be aware of, which is the war on terror. Just from a show of hands, could I see how many people are aware of this war, the war on terror? Good, everyone's awake. Okay. So the second war is war on economic prosperity, war on poverty, war on economic growth. First, for us to understand what is what, we must understand if this war on terror is an ends to a mean. Let me be very clear. The war on terror that's happening today is not a means to an end. It's a means, but it's definitely not a means to an end today. Let's look at our westernly neighbors in the 1985, in the 1980s, when they were fighting a war on terror over there. Senator Charlie Wilson, I'm not sure if you know of him, he started a covert operation fund of $10 million. And this fund went up to, in the northern region, of hundreds of millions of dollars. They used to call it Charlie Wilson's War when they were fighting against the jihad, when they were fighting against the Communist Party. They were trying to install the writ of law, the writ of the land in every inch of the law that we are doing today. But then what happened? They missed the boat. Senator Charlie Wilson himself said, he was an ex-naval officer, he said, these things happened. They were glorious and they changed the world. But we effed up the end game. Definitely, it's not a means to an end. Today, Pakistan is fighting a war on terror. We must be very clear about the situation. We are trying to install and instill the writ of law in every inch of our land, in every piece of our land. And we, inshallah, will succeed. Let's rewind back further west towards Europe in 1945. The Marshall Plan. I'm not sure if many of you are aware of this. Secretary of State of the United States, George C. Marshall, in 1947, developed a plan. As you all know, in World War II, there was also a fight against communism and fascism. Britain and their allies were once again instilling the writ of law in every inch of the land and remove communism from those lands. What happened? They definitely got the means, but they understood that this is not the means to the end. The Marshall Plan was a $12 billion plan. If you adjust it for inflation today, it's equivalent to $120 billion. So this in 1945, this plan was effected and executed. What did it do? It uplifted a whole continent. It uplifted a whole society. It rebuilded infrastructure. It rebuilded the grains of society. And it brought Europe together. Today, we are fighting a war on terror. But we must understand that this is not a means to an end. The second war that we all are fighting in this room every day is the war of economic prosperity. War against poverty. We always talk about war on terror, but what about the war on poverty? What about the war on economic prosperity? This is what you guys are all doing every morning when you wake up. You, day and night, against all odds, we have lack of energy, we have lack of electricity, lack of water, policy changes left, right, and center. But yet the Pakistani gets up every morning and grows. This GDP growth of 4% north, how does it happen? It was clearly evidenced. It's definitely not in the public sector. So it's obviously the private sector. Now, this is the war we are fighting. We must understand. And the government, the nation must understand that the war on terror is just a means, it's not the end game. The end game is us. We cannot look west or east, CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, IMF, ADB. That's all great. But at the end of the day, the people who are risking their lives day and night to create jobs, who are risking their gained capital, who are risking their selves to create jobs, that's what matters. That's the growth to prosperity. And this is how this wonderful nation will grow. We have to focus on this. Here I would like to request our elected officers, our elected officials who are in a position to create an environment. Look, right now I'm a business person, and I'll tell you very clearly, every day I worry about a changing policy coming on tomorrow. Every day we have a shortage of water, shortage of electricity, brain drain of good quality resources, but yet we are striving. Our stock market was one of the best performing stock markets in the world. We need to realize this. We need to realize the heart of a Pakistani entrepreneur. We need to realize the strength of a Pakistani entrepreneur. If an environment gets made, and if we understand this war on economic prosperity is there, and you all are fighting it, whether you like it or not, you are the soldiers and you are the generals. And you need to understand that if we all as a nation understand that we are fighting this war, we need to create jobs, we need to create economic prosperity. If our elected officials understand this further and facilitate us, instead of taxation, facilitate us, the taxes will come. Create economic prosperity. You know, it's us who will make a better Pakistan. Here I will end with a wonderful quote of Hazrat Imam Ali Ibn Abu Talib. Your sickness is from you, but you do not perceive it. Your remedy is within you, but you do not sense it. Your presence, you presume you are a small entity, but within you is enfolded the entire universe. You are indeed the evident book by whose alphabets the hidden becomes manifest. Therefore, you have no need to look beyond yourself. What you seek is within you, if only you reflect. We need to reflect. Pakistanis need to reflect. We are the strength of this nation. And inshallah, CPEC, pre-post, we will thrive. We have the fastest performing stock market in Pakistan. Imagine what will happen when an environment gets created for us to grow. CPEC was just a small story of a bigger picture. Let us reflect on this and let us understand we are the solution to a beautiful Pakistan, not CPEC, not ports, it's us. And we are the army and we are the soldiers that are fighting for jobs. We are the army and we are the soldiers that are fighting for economic prosperity. Thank you. God